What's up, game changers? It's Juniper Bloom Mystique here. I am an ascension master, master healer, and divine guide. I'm here to do a very quick deep dive into this week's hot topic. And this one is about the upcoming eclipse, right? This is a very big eclipse on April 8th that is coming soon. Very powerful energy. I know I've done a lot of work for it. So I'm excited for it. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive. This is just 5 things at least that you need to know and do for this upcoming eclipse to help you navigate through it. Okay, this one's the most important thing out of everything that you should probably hopefully focus in on. For those who want to get to know me, I encourage you to watch my channel, watch the videos and the things that I do because they're slightly off kilter. They're not all normal, and every single one of them has to do with the return of Christ since my own Kundalini awakening in 2019. So please stick around, find out, get to know who I am and what all that entails. But for right now, we're going to do a deep dive, dun dun dun, into the upcoming eclipse and what you should do. At least 5 things. And I did channel them. So this is what Spirit says. Are you ready, my friends? All right. So number 1, this eclipse deep dive, they talked about freeing the soul. So this eclipse is super important for that aspect, right? The return of Christ truly is about freeing the soul. It's about setting ourselves free from the capture that we were all under. And the crazy thing is we didn't even really realize that we were there, right? Most of us, we didn't realize, we didn't know all that happened. And it's not so crazy when you realize that all they did, is tell a lie. So everything they told you was a lie anyways, right? All right, so it's truly about freeing the soul. That is what we should be working on right now, making sure you are freeing your soul, my friends. Okay, so number 1, make sure you are working on, freeing your soul. Be present. Okay, so freeing the soul for further growth and enlightenment. I was too busy with my camera to deliver that specifically accurately. Have a blooper here, a blooper that I'm going to include. All right, so the eclipse deep dive truly is about freeing the soul for further growth and enlightenment. All right, that's where we should all be going. We should all be going into the totality of who we are, learning to understand what is real and what isn't, what's happening, where are we going, where do I go, what is up, what is down, what is real, what is not. It should be about growth and enlightenment. That if you are ascending, that is the path that you should be on. Things should be falling apart to fall together where they don't align. Things should be shifting. Things should be being seen and known within your life and unfolding to refold and so on. All right, so the most important part about the energies now going forward into the eclipse, this is how to use it for your highest benefit and gain possible. Okay, because with these energies, they're potent, they are return of Christ, they are biblical, they're prophetic, but it's about upgrading, it's about enlightenment, it's about evolution, it's about moving forward in who you are and what you are and the capabilities that you always have been, right? But how, I say this all the time, you guys, because it's not just as simple as receiving them. People are like, oh, light code's coming in. You have to take actions. Okay, and so these are the actions you should take to receive these energies, to make sure that you are open and receptive to them, and to get through them, to navigate through these changing energetic waves that are quite massive coming forward here, especially with this eclipse, okay? Because it's more than just a visual effect, right? So make sure you are present in the here and the now as much as you can be. When you are present in the here and the now, you can see what's really happening, because that's the only thing that truly exists. When we think too far ahead, we are no longer in our bodies. We are now in our head. We are in the ego space. We are in a space that is just not in existence. The only thing that exists is right here and right now. Everything else does not exist yet. You create from the here and the now solely. So what I do right now creates my tomorrow anyways. So the only thing that matters is right here and right now. Okay. So never think too far ahead. Really try to avoid thinking about what's already behind, because it doesn't matter. Now, the other side of that, there's a lot of distractions going on in the world too that are meant to keep you out of your body. They are meant to keep you disconnected and distracted, because there's something with meditation, right? When we focus into our bodies, it allows that energy to be present in itself, and things can occur. If we are off in la la land and our energy is not open and we are not receptive, we will miss it, okay? It won't be able to integrate. It won't be able to go within. So avoid outwardly costly distractions. They will cost you right now in a great way, okay? So avoid outwardly costly distractions. Make sure you are present in the here and the now as much as you possibly can be, so that you can be receptive, you can open your energy, you are constantly in the moment. That's in the flow, okay? Focus solely on your heart's desires. Do not focus on things that don't matter. And don't worry about anything, let alone other people. You have to, because instead of worry, what could we do? We could send love if something's bothering us, right? Make sure you send love. It's not like people don't matter. Don't get me wrong. But sitting here worrying about others, worrying about ourselves, allowing fear to be present, because fear is not of God, right? So the more we're in the here and the now, the less those things take hold or even exist, okay? So avoid outwardly costly distractions. Focus solely on your heart's desires. What matters is what matters. Consider, let's just say, even though this is not the way it's going to be, so let's just say we don't have a lot of time, and well, some people don't, right? We don't know. But let's just say that, what would you do if you knew you didn't have, like, think of that. Like, if we knew we had a limited space and time, what would we do? Kind of think about that in a good way. How can we be productive? How can we make the most out of every moment that we have? Focusing on love. That is the most important thing that we could do right now, okay? So those heart's desires, why wouldn't we want to do things we've never done before, or give ourselves permission to finally be the most best, vulnerable, bright star that we could possibly be? Right now, that is the most important thing to do. Balance. You must be in balance right now in the heart center, okay? And within that, it's about homeostasis. Your body needs that balance, and I talk about this a lot in my courses, okay? When we are not in 100% balance within everything that we are, the totality, we're out of homeostasis. When we're out of homeostasis, energy does not fully flow through, then something's missed. This is an evolution upon an upgrade, upon an awakening. Like, it's so complex. So we need to be able to be in homeostasis so that the energy is flowing. Homeostasis is where everything is working in perfect harmony with itself and with each other, like within the body, right? Every aspect and the totality of what you're created into is in perfect harmony. Homeostasis is absolute spot on. You are right in the center of it. Everything's working powerfully and fully together. And that's truly what we want. And we should always work to be that. And anything outside of that is what we should be like, oh, what's going on? Let's release it. An emotion comes up. Oh, what's going on? Let's release it. Teach me the lesson I need so that I can move on, right? Like, seriously, that's really important to do. So when we're out of balance, we cannot be fully receptive. We cannot fully see. We are not in full homeostasis status. So I'm not a pure channel either. If you're out of balance, you're not a pure channel. Okay, so being balanced is of importance to receive at full capacity for this energy. So tuning into the earth, being present here in the now. Oh, I didn't say tune into the earth yet. That's the next one. The next component, you guys, the one that is just, I can't tell you enough that throughout spirituality, I hear all the time, touch the trees, talk to the earth. And I thought that was gibbly-gock. I avoided the earth for a long time. I was not on a spiritual path before my awakening. Once I had my awakening, I realized just how important the earth is. But on top of that, the earth has changed. So since my awakening, everything I've been doing has been to the earth. So I need you to consider that everything has already been done to the earth. From the core of her being changed from dark to light, to rebuilding the crystalline grid, to reactivating the pyramid structure and the grid underneath the pyramid structure within the crystalline grid. So all the crystals were replaced over these last 4 years. I know because I put them there as I was activating pyramids. When I was activating pyramids, that is what I was doing. I would move them, I would fill them with my light, Christ light, and then I would replace the crystals back to where they belonged. And the one in the core I did when I did the Nile, and there was one there. It was filled with darkness. I pulled it out. They thought they destroyed the one of light. I put it back together, refilled it with Christ light, and replaced it in. So the earth has changed so much. Like, it's not fake. This work was not easy to do. It hurt a lot to do it. It really did take a physical toll on my body, and to see all these things occur, to know what the earth is going through. So when I tell you that with this solar eclipse, I'm like more passionate about this solar eclipse than I've ever been about any before, because I know what I've done to the sun and the moon during the return of Christ work that was coming through. I know what I did to it. I know what we did to the sun and the moon. So I know the potency and the power of this upcoming eclipse. I know what it means for the apocalypse, for the return of Christ, for the end of ways, okay? It's the end of days for some, but it's the end of ways for all. So I know what this means. So when I tell you these things are so important, I would do these like crazy. But the next one is outdoor meditations as much as possible. So even just tuning in to the elements, you need the elements, 1222, a lot in this upcoming, in the energies now. So even today, they're starting to come in. I can feel them. We are in the spring equinox, right? I think. But I can feel them coming in now. And I can't get off. Like, I feel this eclipse. I already feel it. So tune into the trees, the sun, the dirt, the water, the wind, the elemental focus. Super, super important for this one. Place your focus on the sun and the moon. So actually take some time to focus on the sun. Please do not stare at the sun with your eyes and blind yourself and then tell your doctor that I told you to focus on the sun. That's not what I mean. Warning. Do not stare at the sun. Place your energy, your intent, your focus, not necessarily your outer eyes, right? Maybe your internal eye. You can close your eyes and just imagine being with the sun. You can sit outside and look at the ground and still focus on the sun, okay? So please do not stare at the sun, but please take some time getting to know her. And then also I want you taking some time to focus on the moon. Tune into the energy of the moon. And I want you to do this in balance throughout the days, okay? As much as you can throughout these days going forward between now and through the eclipse for at least 7 days past it, okay? Take some time to feel the sun, to sense the sun, to see the sun in your mind's eye. Please not with your actual eyes. I will not ever tell you to stare at the sun. Do not blind yourself. Warning. But then I also want you to do the opposite. So as much time as you spend focusing and thinking about the sun, not staring at it, I want you to spend with the moon. Equal, balance, okay? So this one will affect your genetic coding vastly. So you know that whole push for the V and how everybody talked about how it messes with your genome pool, and we need the ascension. We have to have our genetic makeup pure. Well, during the return of Christ work that I did, there was a lot of times I was bringing down Christ light, bringing down the sun, and also DNA activations. So we have to be DNA viable. And for some reason, this eclipse, it's coming through that is very, very important for this one. All right. So if your DNA is not viable, this one will affect you. So with this eclipse, what they're showing me is where it's became not viable for those individuals that blocked it or stunted it or caused damage. With this sun and the moon, it's going to do something where it like shuts off, because it needs to activate something. This sun and the moon needs to activate our DNA, okay? This will be a big time Christ DNA activator. And if something was blocked, if you're not viable, if your karma doesn't allow you to go that high, it will also shut it off, okay? So like it won't be viable. It won't be able to activate. So that also renders it dormant, so to speak. So the DNA for this one, I can't even tell you how important it is. Like so important. And you can't hide under a rock to avoid it. I talked about the eclipse coming in my video on Monday that I just posted, and how, you know, it's important how powerful this sun and the moon are in this one, and why it's so important, you guys. Like, disclaimer, this is one of the most important energetic time waves we've ever had, and you will ever have, and you will never have again, okay? So, very high frequency portal. And I would say do these now and into and through the eclipse. You could probably even go 2 weeks past the eclipse, because the energy and the time is so vastly different and more potent and more expansive than it used to be. Remember, it's not the same. So focus solely on your heart's desires, okay? Be present in the here and the now as much as you can. Avoid outwardly costly distractions. Be present in the here and the now as much as you can. I don't know if I said that one. Balance is super important. Outdoor connections, the elemental connections, absolutely important. Place your focus on the sun and the moon as much as you can in balance. I'm going to think about the sun for an hour in this day, and then this evening I will just sit and think about the moon for an hour. And just literally think about them. Think about the way they look, their shape, their feeling. You know, how does the sun feel on your skin? How does the moon feel when it reflects off the water? How does that make you feel in your emotions? These are great ways to use those as keys to help you heal and align in the balance of the sun and the moon, because you truly want to be in balance in the sun and the moon for this upcoming eclipse. All right? And hopefully, my friends, DNA viable, because it is time to change the game. So much love to you, my game changers. And if you really truly want to know who I am, stick around, like and subscribe. But better yet, watch all my other videos, because truly on this channel, you will watch the return of Christ unfold. Since 2019, when I had my own Kundalini awakening, I have been suddenly doing these things that I did not see coming. From healing people in ways I never knew possible and still have not seen to this day like that, to activating pyramids, clearing Mount Shasta, freeing Jesus's soul, undoing the Holy Grail, which was not holy at all, learning how Jesus truly died, which was not on a cross at all, uniting Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, clearing the Nile, oh my gosh, and so much more. And all the pyramid activations, you guys, to me were incredible. I sat on Saturn, I rose Atlantis, and then I also took us into 70. Oops. So that's who I am. Thank you for those who stuck around for that message, for that hello into who I am. And please stick around and watch the workshops. It's like nothing you've ever seen before, so make sure you watch them more than once. Keep your mind quiet and your heart open to see things like you've never seen before. So much love, my friends. Have a beautiful day and go change the game. These are the things you can do for this upcoming solar eclipse. Whoop, whoop. Peace out.